All right, welcome back to another episode of the On the Offensive podcast. This is Ben.
I am Seth.
And we are coming to you live together for the second time. There will be a few more times of this before he goes back to his hometown in Iowa.
Lovely, lovely town in Iowa. Chipola. Shout out to Chipola, Iowa. My new home. Been an interesting week, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's been interesting to say the least. You know,
got quite a bit of snow out there.
Out here. I don't know what happened out there
in Iowa.
Yeah,
just fucking cold.
Yeah, well, it's been. I'm gonna say it's been cold out here. Negative degrees.
Well, they have negative degrees in
all
Iowa
the time,
quite a bit. Yeah. I'd like to thank anybody who actually listened to our first episode and understand that, you know, hey, we're new at this and we're trying this out, and like I said, I hope we're going to get better. The point of the show is to, you know, kind of irk some people, which I apparently did, and I'm not going to take it back or apologize for it. I'm just going to give my opinions. If I offended teachers or nurses or
everyone,
everyone, I don't care. I don't care. That's why the podcast is called On the Offensive, and I'm sure the subjects that we're going to talk about today are going to be
on the offensive.
On the offensive, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. We'll start off with a couple of things, just to clean up a couple things. The Super Bowl.
Hold on, before you get too far into that, I just want to say, I know I said at the end of last week that the episodes will be on listening platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I am personally arguing with both of those companies right now to get our podcast on those platforms. So once it is available, we'll be able to go ahead and post any previous episodes if you want to go back and view them there, or if you want to actually view them there, if you're listening now or listening in the future, you'll be able to actually view any previous episodes there. But for now, YouTube is going to be the place once I'm finished dealing with those assholes.
And YouTube is fine.
Yeah, YouTube is fine.
YouTube is a wonderful way to
YouTube is absolutely garbage. I hate streaming.
Whoa!
No,
we're on there.
I can say it. I've said it on streams there. I've said it on my videos.
Okay.
I've absolutely.
Well, they're giving us a platform though.
They are giving us a platform. I don't think they care if I talk shit about them though.
No, YouTube's got enough money. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't care about us.
But I don't know what. Like I said, it's been an interesting week. Just to clean up a couple things to begin with here. The Super Bowl's all set. We got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. Cincinnati with a shocking upset over the Chiefs, and the Rams beat the 49ers. So Bengals and the Rams, we'll just really quick, because I don't want to talk too much about sports, because we're going to have a talk about a sports issue that's not really a sports issue, but we'll get into that here in a bit.
Well, just to jump into the next thing that's a little bit sports related, more person related, and also kind of goes into this, and I saw this today. The last time the Rams won the Super Bowl was when Tom Brady was not an active player.
Yeah, I read that also. Yeah.
It is very possible.
Kurt Warner and the Rams.
It is very possible, since Tom Brady's retirement. It could be very possible with them coming back and winning this season.
I'm gonna go ahead. We'll take our picks here really quick, and I'm gonna say the halftime show will absolutely suck ass.
I think it's gonna be great. This is the closest that Detroit has ever been to being in the Super Bowl with Matt Stafford and Eminem.
Oh my God, really? Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that one. That's true. I'll agree with you there. But my pick, I think Matt Stafford and the Rams. Well, like I said, the halftime show will suck. The national anthem. Who was a country singer? a young lady is going to be singing. I've never heard of her, but she's going to be singing the national anthem. Halftime show will suck, and there'll be 3 good commercials.
I got nothing.
And the most important thing is the Rams will win the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. I think the Rams are going to win. I'd like to say Joe Burrow will do it, but no, the Rams.
I think Joe Burrow's future is bright.
Joe Burrow's future is very bright.
I think it's Matt Stafford's time to finally win one, and so the Rams win Super Bowl 56. Von Miller gets another ring, which is awesome for Bronco fans. Other news,
like I said,
that guy's retiring.
Tom Brady retired. Tommy Boy.
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I've heard of him. Yeah, Tom Brady's retiring. 20. What was it? 44 years of football he played.
Yeah.
I think it was that. The guy, you hate
popped out of his mom's womb, and he was
you want to
tossing
hate
the
guy.
old pigskin.
You want to hate the guy, but you can't. Love Tom Brady, the GOAT. He is. I'm obviously a bigger Peyton Manning fan, but Tom Brady is the GOAT. So that's it with that.
I just like to speak on the rumor. He wasn't going to retire until he got that money. Would you have retired before?
No.
Yeah, get that $15 million.
You're going to get $15 million if you wait to a certain day.
Yeah, get that $15 million. Run away.
Tom Brady. I'm not going to start a collection for Tom Brady, but he's got his model wife, and she's the horse face. But
I heard he announced his retirement, and Belichick was waiting for him at home. Just like, no, you're coming back to me.
No. It's time. I mean, and you know what? Even though he didn't win, the guy's leaving on top because he still had an amazing season stat-wise. He still had a great year. He's not injured. He's not, hobbling off the field. I think it was a good decision, and Gronkowski will probably retire as well because I think
for the second time
back because of Tom Brady. But Tom Brady's retiring. Got that out of the way.
All right, just
to Super Bowl talk. So we'll
just to move away from the sports world for a little bit. I'd like to talk about something going on here. AT&T, or no, sorry, T-Mobile. That's what it is. I have it up here. They are firing a bunch of employees right now who are not vaccinated, and that have no plans of getting vaccinated by April.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have no problem with that at all.
I don't disagree with you, but this is a big part of the reason, and I'm not disagreeing that people don't want to work, so don't start in with me there.
Well, people don't want to work.
But this is a big part of the reason why the unemployment rate is so high. Because
it's going to get higher because more companies are going to force or mandate. Let's use the word mandate.
You put up in quotations, but mandate. It is forcing, because if companies are going to say it's either your job or a vaccine, it's forcing.
If I was still in the workforce, I need to pay my fucking bills. I'm getting the vaccine.
Well, schools are doing the same thing. To go to college, pretty much everywhere, you have to get vaccinated.
Good.
So they're setting.
Take that, you anti-vaccine fuckfaces.
To get an education, to get a career, they're setting these students up for success because jobs are going to mandate this.
I have no problem with this at all.
I know you don't. But like I said, it's setting people up for failure that are assholes.
I think that people who are listening, or if anybody's listening, who the fuck knows, I think you should be vaccinated. I know you got your flat earthers out there, and you got your fucking anti-vaxxers out there, and
your Holocaust deniers.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later here. She wasn't denying it, but she just didn't call it right. But I do not have a problem with it whatsoever. Let's get everybody vaccinated. I mean, it's been correct me if I'm wrong. The what is it? The FTC, the The FC, no,
not the FCC.
No,
they see what's on TV and tell you no.
Yeah, they say no to everything. Too.
I'm surprised they haven't cut us off.
No, well, yeah, after one episode, because we suck so bad apparently. But no, it's the vaccination's been approved, right? I mean,
the vaccination's been approved. You got your booster, right?
I got both of my
first
shots
by
Pfizer, and my booster by Moderna.
I'm going to get it this weekend. I'm going to get my booster this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, nice. I'm not against it.
Well, I think doesn't your work make you do it since you work from home?
Oh yeah, and my work they're making me do it. You
don't want to get the dog sick.
Well, that's a big priority is not getting the dog sick.
Big shout out to Jackson over here.
You'll probably hear him chewing on his fucking cheese.
Chewing on his cheese there. But no, I have no problem with that. I think that look, you're given a choice. You're given a choice. The choice. Not have a job, or you can have a job and just go get a fucking vaccination.
The choice sucks because in the end, Americans are fucking lazy, so they don't want to work.
Yeah. Well, no, Are you saying that? Are you just saying that Americans are lazy?
You just quoted me directly.
Well, actually. No. I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard you right. You're saying your opinion, your feeling is that Americans are lazy, and that's why they're not getting the vaccine, or they're lazy and don't want to fucking work.
I'm saying most Americans, not all, most Americans are lazy and they don't want to work, not get the vaccine. Those are the anti-vaxxers. And let me just go ahead and say this. There are anti-vaxxers that are afraid, or not afraid, I guess, against getting chicken pox, against getting measles, all of those vaccines, and those are the liberals. And then there's the people that are against getting the COVID.
Plenty of conservative people that don't want the vaccine either.
No. And this is what I was trying to say. And then there's the people who are against getting the COVID vaccine, and those are more of the conservative side that are against the COVID vaccine. I don't know if those are the people that don't believe in COVID, and those are the anti-maskers and all of that shit, which does not make sense to me.
Well, here's how I've handled things over the last couple of years. Okay? And I may be wrong. I may be just completely incorrect here, but if I see a sign that says I have to wear a mask, I put on a fucking mask. Okay?
How dare you?
Whether I like it or not, I just shut up and I put on a fucking mask. And I wear the fucking mask. Okay?
How dare you respect a company that asks you to do something?
If I'm told, that the vaccine will help you lower the risk of getting the COVID virus, I'm going to go ahead and get the vaccine. Maybe I'm a sheep, but I'm going to go ahead and get the fucking vaccine because myself, personally, I have a very low immune system, having diabetes. I'm getting the fucking vaccine. I don't care. I don't give a shit. If I had to choose, I don't know how many people out there can just quit their job over some bullshit belief that the government is trying to kill you with a fucking vaccine. I don't know. I don't even know what's in people's heads why they don't get vaccines. I don't understand. Is it the whole my body, my choice thing? Is that are we comparing getting the vaccine to getting a fucking abortion? Is that where we're at? I'm trying to figure it out. I really am.
I bet you're one of those people that a business puts up a sign that says no shirt, no shoes, no service. I bet you put on a shirt and shoes.
You're damn right I do. Because I'm always walking around with my fat ass without a shirt, and it would be one shoe. So shirts.
That's fair.
Well, yeah, I do wear shirts and shoes.
I was just trying to know that you are a sheep and you're just following the herd.
Meh.
That was the worst sheep. That was the worst sheep impression I've ever heard.
Well, moving on.
We talked last week about doing 5 favorite movies before we get into the real controversial shit.
5 favorite movies. It's hard to do. They're probably all Denzel Washington movies.
I didn't say 5 favorite movies from one actor.
Well, yeah, but all my movies would probably be Denzel Washington
from one
movies.
actor. Well, okay.
I love the guy. We will probably do that, and that's something I'd have to think about. Best 5 songs, best 5 movies, best 5 TV shows. I mean, that's a hard decision.
Well, I could give you one of my top 5 favorite TV shows.
All right, you go ahead and let the world know.
I just right off the top of my head, this isn't my top 5, and I'm making you watch it.
TV shows?
Yeah, I'm making you watch it.
Okay.
Shameless.
Never watched it. Never seen
Like I said,
it.
I'm gonna make you watch it starting next week.
Well,
you're gonna watch it.
I'll get into it, but I want you to get into that Yellowstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is awesome. That is Kevin Costner
what is
a great actor.
What is Yellowstone on?
What's it on?
Yeah.
Well, me and Tracy were watching it on, I think the last 3 seasons or the first 3 seasons were on Peacock.
I don't have Peacock.
Oh. I don't know what else it's on. I don't know what it originally.
Oh, maybe I do have Peacock.
Paramount. It was Paramount Plus.
I definitely don't have Paramount.
Or Paramount. I don't know. It's on. I mean, there's so many fucking streaming services now. I have no idea.
I have all of them. I don't have all of them.
No,
I have all of them.
You don't have all.
I have all of them except for Paramount, HBO, which I really want to get because I want to.
Oh, the HBO Max.
Yeah, I really want to watch.
I'm surprised you don't have that.
An Apple TV because I want to watch Game of Thrones because I've heard it's really good, and then I want to watch Ted Lasso.
Well, Ted Lasso's on that Apple TV.
That's what I was saying. No,
Game of Thrones. Nah.
Well, I've heard it's so good. I want to watch it.
Yeah, well.
Well, and I heard you also get to see a lot of nudity in that show.
Oh, you're into nudity?
Well, the one chick.
You got a girlfriend. I'm sure you can see her nude anytime you want.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Oh, you want to see different girls nude?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, well, it sounds like you're saying that.
Well, I was just saying. I heard that there's a lot of nudity in that show. I made you watch a movie with a lot of nudity. How did you like that?
That was like 5 seconds, and I was gonna throw up.
No,
you tricked me.
No, I heard it's because I told you Amy Adams was in it, and you were like, "Oh, Amy Adams is nude in it." And
well, I was hoping
you have a girlfriend,
but yeah.
I won't say anything further.
What? I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, no, I know.
So what do you?
No, I wasn't trying to say anything.
She wouldn't care if I saw other naked women on TV.
No, I was just saying.
She knows I want to have sex with Kaylee Cuoco.
You could never swing Kaylee Cuoco.
Who is Penny on Big Bang Theory.
That's okay.
She's my ultimate.
Me and Lori have made a list of our top 5.
Oh, you have a top 5?
Yeah.
See, me and Shannon were talking about that, and I got up. I started at the top 5, and then I think
is Denzel in your top 5?
Top 30. Denzel, if I was a homosexual.
Ryan Reynolds is in my top 5.
Yeah, I would put Ryan Reynolds and Denzel Washington in my top 10 gay queer fucks.
Mine goes.
Denzel and just a shout out, Denzel and Ryan Reynolds. Safe House. Great movie. That was young Ryan Reynolds. Young Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
If you watched it now, you wouldn't even be able to tell that was Ryan Reynolds.
I just saw it recently. I
really?
just watched Safe House recently. It was a great.
It's a good. I like that movie.
Not in my top 5 of Denzel movies, but it is a great movie.
I think that movie beats Green Lantern. Green Lantern was such a shit movie.
I did not see the Green Lantern,
terrible movie.
There's this show. It's on ABC.
Oh, well, yeah, to break into some other stuff going on here.
Let's go to the meat of the show today. I don't know. Should we do the other story first and then go to that one?
No, I think we should start here because it will lead in. I think it will lead into the other story. Well,
not really.
Well, no, because I think so. Because once we jump into what she said,
let's go. There's a show on ABC. It's been on for a very long time.
Hold on. It's been on for 25 years.
25 years.
You can see in the background.
It should be called Cunts, but it's called The View. and it's got a bunch of women giving their opinion.
How many
which
women
I
is
have
it? It's 5
no-
women. 5 women.
Yeah, it's about 5 too many, but it's 5 women giving their opinions. Which no, I all kidding aside, I have no problem with women giving their opinion as long as they're cooking me something while they're doing it.
They can give their opinion in the bedroom too, as long as.
Oh yeah, no, now we're just being. This is where people will drop off. We're just kidding.
Yeah, this is all just
it's
jokes.
all love.
Yeah,
we love our women. We want them to have their own thoughts and beliefs and stuff, even though they're stupid. But I mean, it's cool. But anyway, famous comedian and actress Whoopi Goldberg made a little gaffe. We'll call it that. A couple days ago.
What does Judge Judy call it? A kerfuffle.
She started a kerfuffle.
She started a kerfuffle.
She started a kerfuffle. That hits close to home for me.
Were you in the Holocaust? Did I not know?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. My people were. My people were in the Holocaust. We're gonna play you a clip from The View, and then we'll get back and talk about what Whoopi Goldberg had to say.
Yeah, so here's that clip. I'm sure most people have heard it by now, but here's that clip right now.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
Ethnicity.
No, it's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going
it's
after
not
Jews
about
and
race.
Gypsies and
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
So right there, she says that the Holocaust is not about race.
Yeah, slavery wasn't either.
Well, what I'm gonna say is something that we looked at earlier today, which was what Ben Shapiro brought up, is something that's in Mein Kampf, where Hitler directly said that Jewish people are not a religion, it's a race. He saw the Jewish people as a race.
He wanted to wipe out a race of people.
Yeah, and that's what he was doing. So her saying that it's not a race was saying that, or it's not a race issue, was completely negating history and what Hitler directly stated then.
I'm speechless. I mean, I'm literally speechless. Okay, there's so many things going on in my head right now, and people who know me, I mean, just look. What Whoopi Goldberg said was completely fucking crazy. That the Holocaust wasn't about race. It's exactly what I said before. That would be like me saying slavery was not about race. That's I think a pretty fair comparison when we know both were about fucking race. I mean we know.
I mean, hold on, because there's a problem that I have with you saying that, because slavery is still an issue.
No, there's still slaves?
Yes, there's still slaves.
Not in this country.
There's
Those are called maids that we get from Mexico.
No, there's still slaves. There's slaves all over the world. There's sex trafficking, which those are sex slaves. There is slaves still.
Okay, I'm talking about.
You're talking. I understand what you're. I understand what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the 50 states, the country that we live in now.
I understand what you're talking about, but
nobody owns anybody.
But you are trying to say that there are not slaves anymore. There are. So what?
No, I didn't say they're not slaves anymore. All I said is it was like me saying that slavery wasn't about race when we know damn well it was about race. Okay? Blacks were treated horribly. They were treated horribly. Then.
I mean, they still are.
Yeah, just ask any of them. They'll fucking tell you that every single thing, and we'll get into this later, that every single black person has a fucking race card to hold up in the air when they're done, when they feel like they're done wrong. Let me tell you something, Whoopi. You're completely wrong on this issue, and while I respect you giving an opinion about something because you're free to do that, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, do I think Whoopi Goldberg should be fired for her making this gaffe? No, I do not. As well as anybody else who's lost their job for speaking out of term or saying something outlandish or whatever. I don't think Whoopi should be fired. I don't think Whoopi should be suspended. ABC handed down a 2-week suspension. I don't agree with it.
We had this argument when you showed me this situation, and you brought up the First Amendment. The First Amendment does not cover you in private, privately owned establishments is the best way to say it. Because if I say something that goes against my companies, because I am a working stiff, as he brought up previously, if I say something that goes against my work's views, I can be fired for it. And that goes the same for...
I guess just like the vaccine, if you don't get the vaccine...
Yeah, I mean, it goes the same way. But it's to say that, if Whoopi said something that offended ABC, The View, anything there, that's why the network can go ahead and suspend or fire. And any other company can do the same thing.
That. I just don't agree with it.
No, 100%. I understand your opinion on that. But like I said...
Because I'm all about free speech and being able to say exactly what you want. And
that's why you sign a contract when you get hired on with places.
But The View is a TV show where 5 women sit around at a table and give their opinions on shit.
Well, especially
whether they're right or wrong, that's to be debated at a later time. What I'm saying is, and everybody knows it, is Whoopi was wrong in what she said. That's what I'm saying. The problem that I have is now, she later went on Stephen Colbert and kind of doubled down on what she said after she apologized. And
I can actually just play the clip just to get a better...
We can do the Colbert clip?
Yeah, I can play the Colbert clip.
But yeah, she kind of... I don't know. She apologized, but she did go on the Colbert show and kind of... I don't know. The whole thing was crazy to me. And how did this story come about? We just heard the clip of what Whoopi said, but what they were talking about beforehand about you were mentioning it about the story in Tennessee.
Well, this goes actually back to, and this goes back to a book that I read in school, To Kill a Mockingbird, being banned from schools. I believe it was a school in Florida for the N-word. Being
not the N-word?
Yes. And then
okay, I'm sorry.
And then bringing out another story. This actually happened earlier this year.
It rhymes with trigger.
Or a tool I have on my bar as well.
What's that?
A jigger.
Oh, jigger. Okay.
Yeah, if you were.
I just wanted to make sure people might not know what the N-word is.
I think people understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
That's pretty common knowledge. But just to say, this is actually something that happened earlier this year, and then it came out end of January where it had happened, and the news got a hold of the story. So To Kill a Mockingbird banned in one school in Florida, and then in Tennessee, Mouse, which is about the Holocaust and about Germany, and that time period, which had gotten banned in a school in Tennessee because of nudity, actually. Nudity and curse words.
So were there pictures in the book of nudity?
I believe it is a picture book.
No.
Well,
Okay, I've never read, I'll be honest, I've never read either book. But,
as we spoke previously, he didn't go to school much.
Huck Finn also had the N-word in it. I know that.
Yes.
Quite frequently.
Yes.
Okay. These are books. Okay.
And these are books that were written
I don't care if they were written yesterday. I mean, they're books.
Well, this goes back to what we were saying about deleting history.
Right.
Because you can't delete history. You can't delete Mouse for the Holocaust. You can't delete To Kill a Mockingbird for its story. You can't delete or take down statues for what was said. These are just things. I mean, you can't do all of that.
Okay, I agree. I think that there's a very bad history in this country. There's a lot of bad stuff that has happened, but it is a part of our history. You can't just teach the good stuff. We're not giving everybody a fucking participation medal anymore. I've had it.
No, we are. We
sugarcoat everything for fucking people, and it wasn't like that when I was a kid. Nothing was fucking sugarcoated. I mean, we're gonna tear down memorials and tear down shit and quit teaching this and quit. In Germany, this is what I've heard. They don't even teach about the Holocaust in Germany.
No. Family Guy made a joke about that, where Brian and Stewie were on a bus, like a tour bus.
Are we really going from the Holocaust to
Well,
Family
no, I'm
Guy?
trying to make a point.
This is quite a jump.
I'm just trying to make a point here. Stewie and Brian were on a bus in Germany, and Brian goes, "Isn't that like somewhere that important in Germany's history about World War II?" And the tour bus guide goes, No, it is not. And they just drive off all quickly.
You just did that? You took German?
I did.
That was awful.
Well, yeah.
That was fucking terrible.
Well, I think I quoted that directly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Whoopi on Colbert. Let's hear what she had to say after what she said on
this is actually directly quoted. It's supposed to be an apology. So we'll play this.
Yeah, an apology.
Good to see you again.
And you.
Now, you made some news this morning.
Yes.
On The View.
I did.
When y'all were talking about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And would you care to follow up? Clarify what you said this morning?
I don't know,
because it confused some people.
It upset a lot of people.
Yes.
Which was never, ever, ever, ever my intention. I thought we were having a discussion. Because I feel, being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. Mm-hmm. So I said that I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And people got very, very, very angry, and still are angry. I mean, I'm getting, all of the mail from folks, and the very real anger, because people feel very differently. But I thought it was a salient discussion because, as a black person, I think of race as being something that I can see. So I see you, and I know what race you are. And the discussion was about how I felt about that. I felt that it was really more about man's inhumanity to man and how horrible people can be to people. And we're seeing it manifest itself these days. But people were very angry, and they said, no, we are a race. And I understand. I felt differently. I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset about that people are misunderstood what I was saying. And so because of it, they're saying that I'm anti-Semitic and that I'm denying the Holocaust and all these other things, which, would never occur to me to do. I thought we were having a discussion about race, which everyone, I think, is having.
All right, so just to kind of start off, this is something I wanted to touch on earlier with what she said. She does bring up the fact of man's inhumanity, which is something I wanted to bring up. But before I go too far into that, she never once fucking apologized. There was never an "I'm sorry." There was never "I apologize." She said, "I don't want to give a fake apology." There was never a real apology. But just to go on to the man's inhumanity, that is something that is still going on. And it was going on then, but it was a race issue. That's something that's all I'm going to say with that. But like I said, she never apologized. There was no real apology in there. It's like a YouTuber's fake apology, where she wants to cry. She's holding back those tears, but she never once says "I'm sorry" or "I apologize for what I said." All she says is "I don't want to give a fake apology."
Yeah, first of all, she says it was a misunderstanding. Now, why, when Whoopi says something wrong, it's a misunderstanding, but when anybody else is caught saying something, The View beats them to death with their liberal left bullshit. How many times did they beat up Trump for saying stupid shit? And he said stupid shit. I'm not going to go off of that. But for 4 fucking years, well, especially Whoopi, she went off on fucking Trump when he said stupid shit. And he wasn't, he was never misunderstood. Bill O'Reilly, who was on their show, who they Whoopi was one, and you can look it up on YouTube. Her and Joy Behar, who's Jewish by the way. Her and Whoopi, Bill O'Reilly said something about the Muslims did 9/11. I think that was his exact words. The Muslims did 9/11, and Whoopi and Joy Behar were so livid that they walked off the set. I mean, maybe he was just misunderstood in what he meant. But everybody forgive Whoopi for what she said, because it was just a misunderstanding. Fine. Whoopi, fine. It was a misunderstanding. As far as I'm concerned, you're forgiven. It's over. You're good to go. Later on, she said some stupid shit in the interview with Colbert. The one thing that bothers me a little bit is the fact that, and I've said this 1,000 times, blacks do not corner the market on hate. Okay? There are tons of people out there who hate Jews. For whatever reason. They hate Jewish people. Okay?
There's also the LGBTQ+. There's
okay. I'm not cornering the market as a Jew either. Everybody, there's plenty of hate to go around, but the blacks think they have the fucking market cornered on it, and they don't. They do not. And Whoopi later on in the Stephen Colbert interview, I'm very angry about this. I'm very upset about it. But later on, she said that, if the KKK was running after me and I was standing next to a Jewish person, I would start running because the KKK can't tell that person is Jewish. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Unless you're in Brooklyn, New York, or somewhere where there's a heavy Jewish population and you see people wearing a yarmulke, or you see rabbis walking down the road, you don't know if a person's Jewish or not. I can say that. But there's probably some racist fuck out there saying, oh yeah, but if they got a big nose or, whatever. I mean, look, you're right. You're completely right, Whoopi. If you were standing next to a Jewish person, we could point out the black person. we would be able to point at the black person. Wouldn't you agree? You can't tell if somebody's Jewish.
No, you can't. Like I said earlier, you can't. I mean, there's black Jews, there's white Jews. I mean, you can't tell.
Bottom line is she was wrong, and the bottom line is she's angry that she was suspended for 2 weeks, and she's fucking lucky she wasn't fired. And like I said before, I don't think she should be suspended or fired. I really don't. I'm so against that, and I'll get into a thing with comedians a little bit. Comedians now have to be so careful of what they say, and it's their job to make people laugh.
Well,
but they get in so much trouble for things that they say.
Look at
jokes that they make.
Look at two comedians: Daniel Tosh when he made the joke about rape, or Dave Chappelle when he made the joke about the LGBTQ plus community.
I'll talk about the Dave Chappelle thing because that's more recent.
That's more recent. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is, to me, one of the funniest men alive. He is an amazing stand-up comic. I love stand-up comedy. Dave Chappelle is one of the best stand-up comics I have ever seen. He's right up there with Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. He's I'll even go ahead and mention the old Cos there, Bill Cosby. Yeah, Dave Chappelle's a little darker.
You mean the rapist Cosby?
The rapist, Bill the rapist Cosby. But listen, if you go back and you listen to Dave Chappelle's show, if you listen to that last Netflix special, Dave Chappelle did not say anything nasty towards the LGBTQ. You know what it was? You know what it was? And it's all you young fucks out there, okay? There were people that probably didn't even watch the fucking special. But a few people got fucking offended. Maybe some queers, I don't know. They got offended and started talking about it. And everybody started getting offended. And I bet you there was people that were offended that never even fucking watched the show.
Everything is taken out of context.
No, you can't take things out of context from a comedian.
No. What I'm saying is in a comedy show, if you take a small clip of what is said and you don't get the full joke of what is being said in the full joke, then that is considered out of context.
I'll agree. Agreed. But what I'll say is this: if you're a comedian, I don't think anything should be off limits. Nothing. Rape, pedophilia, sexual assault, none of that is funny. None of that is funny. Okay? I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. That it's not funny. But if you make light of the situation, if you make a joke about it, you have to be able to separate the subject from the joke. There's a couple of comedians out there. Jim Jeffries is one. Daniel Tosh is one. Anthony Jeselnik is one. These are guys that are hilarious if you don't get offended over words. Okay? These are guys who have made jokes about rape. But you know what? They've never raped anybody. But you know who has? Bill fucking Cosby. The cleanest comic there is out there, who fucking gave Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy so much shit back in the day for being dirty comics, while Bill Cosby, after every show, was fucking poisoning a bitch and raping her. But he was he went clean. Bill Cosby
didn't curse, he
clean, didn't say anything. Was a clean comic. But look. Another example. Kathy Griffin, bunch of years back, with the Trump thing, she held up Trump's cut off head. People gave her tons of crap for that. I didn't think it was funny. I don't think Kathy Griffin is funny. She was never one of my favorite comedians. But what I think she did, she shouldn't have lost jobs over. She shouldn't have lost her career because of it. Her gig on CNN on New Year's, she shouldn't have lost. She shouldn't have lost any of that. She was a comedian. She made a bad joke. That was it. But Whoopi here was in a situation where she's in a serious talk show, and she wasn't making a joke about anything. But I still don't believe that she should be fired or she should be suspended. But, that's up to ABC, obviously.
Well, just to move on to careers, as we kind of jump into another topic here, as we're pressing into the hour, let's go ahead and jump into the next topic, which also subsides in the rape area. Not rape, race area.
Oh, I was going to say, this was a subject I thought you were coming up with. I didn't.
No, I just made
know.
this up. I had no idea. No.
Do we have another rape story?
No, I don't have any other rape stories. This goes into the race area.
The race area.
Yes.
Okay, this does go into the race area, and this is a little bit sports related in the content, but it's not really, to me, a sports story more than it's a race story.
I can give, we talked about this a little bit last week. Broncos fired their head coach.
Correct.
In turn...
Oh, by the way, the Broncos are on sale for $4 billion.
$4 billion. So
if anybody wants to chip in, we're definitely willing to take over the franchise and move them in the right direction.
I have $1.50, so if anybody's willing to
I
give the rest.
I got 60 cents in my checking account.
So we have $2.10.
Okay, so we got a good start. If anybody else has the rest...
I'll start the GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe.
Is there a GoFundMe page?
Probably.
I'm sure there is.
I'll start the GoFundMe. If anybody wants to pitch in the rest, I think my dad and I would be terrific owners.
Oh, definitely. So, we're already terrific podcast hosts.
Yeah. So just to give a little background, like I said, Broncos fired their head coach, which means that they are looking for a new head coach.
No, they
were looking for a new head coach. So in turn, they had interviews. Some people had to be told no. They ended up hiring
Nathaniel, the former offensive coordinator from the Green Bay Packers, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yes. So with that being stated, some people had to be told no. And what do you do when you get told no for a job offer?
Usually, what I do is move on.
Yeah, well, I mean
I've been told to another company.
I've been told no a few times when I've applied for jobs, and you know what I do? I just jump over to the next interview.
You mean you don't sue the company for not hiring?
I've never sued a company.
No,
I never have. But to let you go.
Former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, who is an African American gentleman, is suing the NFL and 3 separate teams for not being hired as a head coach, which is I've so had it with this shit. I've really had it with this shit. It gives me a fucking headache. It really does, because I know everybody out there, you're all so woke, and this needs to be done for the black community, and that needs to be done for the black community, and this and that and that. And if a black person doesn't get a job, it's because it's because he was black. And no, stop it. I mean, I've had it. I'm tired of it. If you don't get a job, you didn't get the fucking job. You don't get to turn around and fucking sue the league and 3 teams that didn't hire your fucking ass, because you either continue doing what you're doing, or you get a coordinator job, but you don't sue just because of racial, you think
Systemic racism.
No, well, don't even get me started on systemic racism. But you don't sue because of racial discrimination. I'm tired of it, and it goes the same thing if a woman doesn't get a job. You didn't get the job because you're a woman, and a man got it. Just stop. I mean, it's enough already. But Brian Flores, he's suing the Broncos, the Giants, and the Dolphins. He's suing those three teams specifically. My Denver Broncos, our Denver Broncos, being one of them. He claimed that John Elway showed up to the interview heavily drunk. John Elway in the past, it's known around that John Elway's a drinker. I don't know if it's true or not. He's claiming that. The Dolphins, he claims that the owner in 2019 would pay him $100,000 a game every game he lost. So purposely tried to lose back in 2019. He claims that the owner told him to lose.
Is that for a better draft pick? Or?
Yes, that would.
Was that what the article said?
That's would be that.
Or no?
That would, well, that's the only reason you would do that.
Oh yeah.
So, take it away, Ben. I'm
going to ask you a question. Who gets hired for a job?
The most qualified.
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
That's it.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's who gets hired for a job. And this is something that I was going to say. Who do you want as a head coach of a team? Someone with a winning record or a losing record?
Well, you get rookie coaches. I mean, that's a coach has to start somewhere. A head coach has to have their first job somewhere.
Well, yeah,
but normally there's plenty of coordinators that come from losing teams that get hired on as head coaches. But you had a point earlier about you would rather be an offensive coordinator. You would rather be an offensive coordinator on a team that's winning than actually being a head coach of a losing team, which makes no sense at all because a head coach makes so much more money than a coordinator does. Even if you're winning. I mean, obviously, if you don't care about the money, great. Josh McDaniels stayed with the New England Patriots for years and could have had a head coaching position. He took the Broncos job for a couple of years and then turned around, went back to New England and stayed as an offensive coordinator with New England for years and years and years, probably hoping fucking Belichick would retire and he would get the Pats job. But now this year took the Raiders position. But most people want to be a head coach.
But who makes more money?
A head coach.
Oh, hold on. A head coach of a losing team or a offensive coordinator of a winning team that's getting the Super Bowl cut. That extra money that you're getting.
Still the head coach.
Yeah, but you're
still
not
the head coach.
I mean, we could look at those figures.
No, it's still the head coach. It's always the head coach.
You're making.
I mean, look at the amount of money that college coaches make. It's more than some pro coaches are making. So yeah, the head coach always makes the higher amount.
Yeah, not you're probably averaging out to what you would have been making, I think.
No, still no.
I'd like to.
Yeah,
look at those
I mean,
figures.
you can look at those figures.
I'd like to look at those figures.
But so we get off the sports part of it, because I don't want to talk too much about sports. Some people might not like sports.
Well, I mean, our podcast is called On the Offensive. We should really stick to the controversial issues.
Oh, okay.
Really?
This is a controversial issue.
This is a controversial
But let's take it out of the sports arena.
Yeah. Well,
let's take it out of the sports arena and into the business world.
Yeah.
And or just any job in general. Are blacks not being hired? Do you think that blacks are not being hired because of their color.
No. No, I don't think that. I don't think that's what it is. And this is what I asked you. I said, who gets hired? It's qualifications.
Okay.
And this goes back
what
to
what if both people have the same qualifications and they choose the white person?
Qualifications. Then it goes down to job experience. Then it goes down to the interview, and then it goes down. I mean, there's so many things that happen in a job interview and then resume and all of those things. It has nothing to do with race. It really doesn't. And this is a point that I was trying to bring up because you were saying I'm acting woke and all of that. If I was acting woke, I'd say something like they're just trying to mark a check off on their list of things they have to do. No one's sitting there and saying I have to interview this many people, or I have to see this many people of this race, or do something like that. That's just not what's happening. People, if you're qualified,
I forget what they call that.
Quotas?
No, but damn it, I can't think of the term. There's a term for it, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. But that you have to have a certain amount of black people.
Yeah,
but it's not. But it's called something. It's yeah.
I have no idea then. I don't know what you're trying to say. But like I was saying, I don't think that's what's happening. I think that if you're qualified for a position and you get passed up for a position, there's someone more qualified. Then you take the loss, you go somewhere else. Whether you're Brian Flores and you have that qualification, you had a losing record before. The Broncos specifically, or any other team, is looking in a rebuild. They're wanting to get someone, if you're someone that's going to bring a winning record and get them to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, or if you're in business and you're wanting someone that's going to bring you up the next quarter, or bring down numbers the next quarter, bring that overhead down. These are the type of things that you're looking at in an interview. You also, like I said, you look at resumes, you look at references, you look at all these things. It has nothing to do with race in the business world. It really does not.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that black people aren't being hired specifically because they are black. It's nonsense this day and age.
And there's no quota going into the business world. There doesn't have to be a certain amount of any race to enter a building every day. I mean, that's just not how it is. You want good people. You want strong people to enter your company.
Whether they're white or black.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who you are.
And let's even get off white and black. We're Mexican. I don't want to leave anybody out, just in case somebody says, "Oh, well, what about the fucking?" Yeah, we're not leaving the Mexicans out. We're not leaving the Chinks, the Chinese people, Japanese people, the Orientals. We're not leaving them out. Anybody who's qualified for a fucking job gets the job.
If you're not, you get declined for it.
Right.
You go home. You take the loss.
And
you apply for something different.
And by the way, the Broncos did have a black head coach, Vance Joseph, for 3 seasons, 2 seasons. I don't know. We did have a black coach. So I mean, this guy, I don't.
And just
to
go into,
it's been an exhausting week with all these stories.
And just to go into numbers of kind of coaching and stuff like that, there is 9.4% of the coaches in the NFL are African American. And I kind of spoke on this earlier in the day just to kind of bring up this fact. Who is the coach? Who are coaches in the NFL? More predominantly.
A lot of times, maybe ex-quarterbacks.
More often than not. And who were quarterbacks? Which this is shifting. The tide is shifting with this.
Back in the day, usually the quarterback position was held by white guys.
And that's
I'm not being racist here. It's the truth. I mean, now you got guys like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, who hasn't been playing, but he'll be back. what's his face up in Seattle.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, yeah. I
mean, these are.
Right.
I mean, and like I said, the tide is shifting.
You're getting more African American quarterbacks. Back in the day,
but this is something where the league has changed how that position is played. It wasn't a very mobile position, to where now it's a lot more mobile. These players get out of the pocket a lot more. Compared to how it was.
Black. I hate saying it. Black quarterbacks, a lot of times are more. Well, first of all, athletic, and can get out of the pocket and can run the ball as well, more than white quarterbacks can. So, but tend to get hurt a lot because they do run first. They are kind of run first, pass second kind of guys, and
I disagree with that.
That's what happened. Well,
these guys' numbers are still.
Well, but I mean now the NFL is completely changed from 10 years ago, even just with the offensive numbers that are being put up. It's just crazy, but yeah. So that's been the week, and
in controversial news, I guess.
I think that there's probably more to come next week with stuff. We'll see what Whoopi does, and we'll see what Mr. Flores gets accomplished.
Just to talk on some good news that I saw today.
Is there good news in the world going on?
Well, there is. ISIS leader was killed.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
something. Sleepy Joe, man, getting the job done.
I heard he killed himself.
Who, Joe Biden?
No. ISIS leader.
Oh, man, I was like, wait, I didn't hear that news.
No.
Joe Biden fell asleep in his oatmeal this morning and died suddenly.
No,
the ISIS leader killed himself?
That's what I heard.
Did he chop off his own head?
I don't think so. That would be a hard task to complete.
That would be really good. If for any ISIS leader listening, could you please kill yourself? So, we can bring the troops home.
I don't think you can say. The troops are pretty much home.
No. There's troops.
We pulled a lot. Biden successfully.
Did we pull out?
Biden successfully pulled out a lot of the troops.
Oh, good.
That was very controversial. Didn't you know about that?
That's good. Well, I'm going to close out the show. Hopefully today was a little bit better. We're still new at this, so we're plugging along. But we'll be back next week with some more news, some more talk, some more. What else we got?
Do you want to say anything positive? I mean, we've been.
I totally.
We've been really
positive.
Negative this entire.
The show. No, we haven't.
I mean, we've been a little negative this entire show.
Do you think we've been negative?
I think we've been a little negative. I think each of us should bring something good other than the ISIS.
You want to close out with something positive?
No, we could both say something positive.
I miss my girlfriend. I'm ready to go back home to Iowa.
I'm ready for you to go back to Iowa.
I know you are. I'm sure you are. But it's been, it's been great seeing Ben and Lori, and Colorado is Colorado, and I'm ready to get the fuck out and go home because Iowa is now my home. I like it there. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Not to be too negative, but taking people to the airport sucks. I hate the airport.
Oh, well, Tracy has to pick me up. He's 2.5 hours away from Minneapolis.
I'm sorry about that, Tracy. Ugh. But just to be negative for a moment, you're the one. Or no, to be positive. To be positive for a moment. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. To be positive for a moment. There is a lot of good games coming out here in the near future. One of them is.
Are we going to talk about?
I want to say something positive for me. This
is positive for you. Okay, yeah, gaming, because everybody cares about gaming.
I have people. That
I know.
I'm just saying.
Your boys care about it.
Just to say, there's a lot of good games coming out here in the near future. One of them is a survival game. It's post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it looks very good. It is, going to be like a multiplayer game. Looks really good. I'm very excited to play it. So I can't wait to delve into the world of this game. But that's my positive.
I don't know.
Minute.
You know what? I don't know how adults play video games. I'm not a big video game person. I could care less. What is that? I mean, if I want to steal a car and beat up a hooker, I'll just go do it.
Can't even walk down the stairs.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can't. I'll do it. I should do. What's that game called?
Grand Theft Auto. Oh,
Grand
that's
Theft
another
Auto.
thing.
Oh,
I saw
good.
that.
I reminded him when I said beating up a hooker.
Speaking of games, this is probably going to come out when I'm old and dead. But GTA 6, the teaser trailer came out for it. It looks really good. It's going to take place in 6 different cities. Some of them are old favorites like Liberty City, San Andreas, but some of them are going to be new.
How many different ways can you make this fucking game? You steal a car, you beat up a hooker. What
great
what else can you
storylines to
do?
it.
Oh, God.
The game...
This coming from a person who just loves the Fast and the Furious movies.
The campaign mode is amazing.
Great acting in those, by the way.
You should have played the campaign mode of this game. It was actually really good. Not my favorite of games. Detroit Become Human, I think you would have liked really well.
I wouldn't have.
It's great.
It's all good, though. But this is On the Offensive with Seth and Ben. We are signing off for the week. We hope you have a great weekend, and we love you. Take care.
We love them?
Oh, we do.
All right. We love you.
Yeah.